with coverage you can count on. This is WNEMTV5 News.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome in to a Wednesday where this morning we take a look at the region's efforts to rise from the flood a whole year later. I'm Blake Keller, live from Sanford this morning.
And I'm Colette Stinger. We will be checking back in with Blake throughout the show. Happy Hump Day, friends. We're so thrilled that you're spending the morning with us. And it already feels like we're in for another summer-like day. The only thing, not much sun today. Is that right?
Yeah, unfortunately not too much sun, but our wind from the south will help to keep us warm. We're talking 80 degrees, 81 for that high.
I love the 80s.
Yes.
You know that.
Yeah, no, yes. It's above average for this time of year, but I think we all can't complain.
Love it.
It's going to feel awesome out there today. Now, today, even right now, we're still decently mild out there as well. It's all still thanks to that southerly breeze. That's keeping temperatures into the 50s and even the 60s as you step out the door this morning. 60 in Bay City, 63 in Midland, 54 in West Branch, and 58 in Clare this morning. Now, those dew points are also in the 40s, and we do have a couple of 50s on the map there, so still feeling dry and pleasant out there, but this afternoon, those dew points will inch up to the upper 50s towards 60, making it feel a little more humid. Now this morning, that wind is still pretty calm as well. Some winds only getting up to around 5 to 7 miles per hour at the most, so another comfortable morning, but that breeze also still coming out of the south. Now, in the First Warn 5 Sky Tracker, we do have some shower activity this morning, but really all of it is staying off to our west, so we'll still be dry as you head out the door this morning. Again, just mostly cloudy. Now, we do have shower chances for the afternoon, starting around lunch and even after lunch. Again, it's all much needed shower activity, but we also have the possibility for some thunderstorms in there as well. Now, for your live and time traffic, also as you head out the door, there's no major holdups on the roadways, but we'll have a check on that full forecast coming up in just a little bit there, Colette.
We love it. Thank you so much, Matthew. Well, it was a fast-paced night for thousands 1 year ago. That's after being told to evacuate their homes as nearby dams were facing failure after several days of heavy rain. Now, once the dams failed, it sent families scrambling for higher ground and left communities reeling as the water continued to rise. Now the scars, they're still visible and recovery ongoing. Today, we are taking a look back at how we got there. Let's go to Sanford now with Blake. Blake, what's it like out there and what are residents doing to rebuild?
Colette, good morning to you. It's been a totally different Sanford this morning. Now that the sun is more up, I do want to show you truly the progress that has been made. We're along Saginaw Road right now, which is pretty much where a lot of these businesses are located. Red Oak Restaurant is over there. We have the hardware store back there, just opened recently as well. The sunrise is so beautiful out here. I wish you guys could see it because it really just pulls everything here together, showing you how beautiful Sanford really is. Of course, you got the Sanford clock that has just been reinstalled over here. This little lot was so full of debris a year ago. It is completely clean. Of course, also going more towards my left, we have the new Porty Park back there. It's really just beautiful down here and nice and clean up. Of course, there's still a lot more work to be done, including on those dams in the lakes. Now, I do have the plan for the restoration of the 4 lakes from the 4 Lakes Task Force, and they pretty much outline the costs, the assessments, and the timetable for when these lakes, they expect these lakes to return. So just looking at my notes here, it basically is describing a path forward to bring back the dams and the ecosystem surrounding, and they do say it's a feasible feat. Sanford is estimated to be restored by 2025, Wixom Lake by 2026, worth a price tag of anywhere from $250 to $300 million. Now, the report details how it will be constructed. It will meet the guidelines from Eagle as well as using Federal Emergency Management Agency dam design guidelines. That is, of course, the restoration of these dams. Industry standards will be met through Eagle. Now, just detailing those improvements to those dams, it will improve the spillway capacity and operational safety. I want to clarify comments I made earlier. These rebuilt dams will have the increased spillway discharge capacity, which will prevent extreme storms from overfilling reservoirs and breaching dams again. So just a few years. We just talked to Dolores Porty a few minutes ago. She's hopeful for the return of Sanford, the Sanford Lake, and the dams as well. The task force chair, though, is confident all the lakes will make a return. So lots of positivity, a nice, great outlook for the future. It is beautiful here in Sanford. If you really don't have any plans today, come on out and check it out. It's really a whole different story than it was a year ago. So lots to be proud of if you're a resident from here, or even if you volunteered here. It is mesmerizing. And we are live in Sanford. I'll send it back to you.
Thank you, Blake. The sun shining on that beautiful community. It's so great to see the progress in Sanford. Such a resilient and loving community. We'll check back in with Blake later in the show.
It's unbreakable. There's nothing that can keep any of us down.
Well, that spirit of resilience radiating from Sanford today, marking the one-year anniversary when the Edenville and Sanford dams failed, devastating that area. The raging water wiped out livelihoods along with entire neighborhoods, and many are still rebuilding. TV5 spoke with one woman who lost everything, but says even though it's been difficult, the community is what kept her going.
It's just heartbreaking for everybody. It never goes away. In the past year, I've probably been back about twice because it's just too hard to come down this way.
Now, the top half of Cammie's home got carried away by the current, ending up hundreds of feet away. Now, nearly a year later, the community has cleaned up the area where her house once stood. Cammie says they still haven't been able to recover most of her stuff, but despite the hardship, Cammie is staying Sanford strong.
It's unbreakable. There's nothing that can keep any of us down. Everybody joined hands and worked together, which was the most amazing part.
That is amazing. It was a lot of work, but the Sanford community has risen to that challenge, helping rebuild homes and businesses. Now, the flood may have destroyed much, but it won't destroy this community. Well, and Sanford also wearing its heart on its sleeve, the community dedicating the Sanford Strong Heart with words from residents looking for a brighter future.
We help to bring people together and to facilitate this as really a way to show support for this community here in Sanford.
Now, the heart has room for as many as 300 notes. Just beautiful. It was just last month when a federal agency assessed a $15 million penalty against Boyce Hydro. It penalized 3 of the company's projects for safety violations. Those 3, Sanford, Secord, and Smallwood, which it says includes the Sanford Dam collapse. That forced the evacuation of 10,000 people and the devastating flooding. Now, Boyce Hydro Power filed for bankruptcy protection in May 2020, and the penalty won't be paid until after flood victims are compensated. Well, happening today, the Tawas City area veterans are giving away free food. It's located at the American Legion Post. That's at the corner of Lincoln and Grant. It runs from 9 a.m. until noon or until all the food is gone. That's great to hear. Well, happy hump day. Thanks for tuning in this morning. If you're heading out soon, here's a time check. It's about 6:08 this morning. Still ahead, 1 year after historic flooding in mid-Michigan, we are still rebuilding. Coming up, how communities have really come together to stay Sanford strong. That's next. And here's a live look now at Flint, the vehicle city, looking pretty quiet. Traffic on area roads and highways are in good shape this morning, so if you are heading out soon, all is good. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy your morning drive. Matthew's tracking the forecast right after the break. Well, it's been 1 year since the failure of the Sanford and Edenville dams, and the ensuing flood washed away homes, sent families scrambling for higher ground, and left communities just reeling in the middle of a global pandemic. But after facing the challenge of that historic flood, those communities got right to work rebuilding and restoring their homes and businesses. TV5's Blake Keller joins us live from Sanford this morning. So glad to have you back, Blake, with a look at those efforts to restore it to its former glory. Good morning, Blake.
Hey, Colette, good morning to you. We are along Saginaw Street right here in Sanford. You can see the Red Oak right behind me. They're preparing to open around 8 this morning, but that is just one business that has come back since the floods. Of course, the other way, we have the Sanford hardware store, which also just reopened. So Sanford is coming back. A lot of progress has been made here over the past year, and a lot of people can be attributed to that. We have our local leaders, our elected officials, tons of volunteers volunteers, not only from right here in Sanford, but across Michigan, not even mid-Michigan, Michigan, even crossing state lines. A lot of volunteers have come here. So I do want to say we did have footage showing you the results of the Edenville and Sanford dams. I don't know if we have that video ready, but of course that affected thousands. 10,000 people had to evacuate their homes in just a matter of minutes. So it's definitely great to see the progress that has been made here in Sanford. Of course, this main street right here has been cleaned up. A lot of the side parks also have been cleaned up of debris. So it looks good. It feels good. The weather is great today. I do want to say, though, that as more people get their renovations to get back into their homes, several organizations are still working every single day to provide for those people. And I want to plug the Sanford Strong Facebook page. The two women behind it, Teresa Quintana and Emily Rickards, they say Sanford is not the same as it was a year ago in many different ways.
I mean, it's not even close to what it used to be, and there's some good parts to that and there's some bad parts to that. It doesn't look beautiful right now. It looks beautiful to me because I know what it looked like before. Yeah. Really proud of how far we've come, but we're not out of the woods yet.
But I would say today we are absolutely closer as a community than we have ever been. And that is kind of the only silver lining, is really the blessing that we've been able to find in all of the disruption.
Yeah, you can definitely tell that when you come to Sanford, if you're not a frequent visitor, the community is just so strong. And it is really inspiring to see, because I know Emily, one of the organizers, said that prior to the flood, there was a sense of community, but it's not as strong as it is right now. So you could definitely feel that. They're excited, though, to celebrate and move forward. Of course, they're going to reflect today on the 1-year anniversary, but it's nowhere but up from here. So I'm live in Sanford this morning. I'll send it back to you.
And you have a beautiful day out there, nice and sunny. Thank you, Blake, for that. It's so wonderful to see just how many people came together to help each other out, and they're still working together to get through this. We're so happy that you're joining us this morning. TV5 News Time, about 6:22. President Biden in Michigan yesterday. What message Dearborn residents hope to convey about the Israeli-Palestinian conflict? That story after the break. Wow, it has really been a long year of hard work for communities like Sanford as they rebuild in the wake of the flooding. But those efforts are starting to pay off, and now they are starting to celebrate the comeback. TV5's Blake Keller is back. He joins us live this morning with all the details. Good morning. Good to see you, Blake.
Hey, Colette, good to see you. Good to hear from you. And we got those technical difficulties taken care of. And I'm here with the three founders of Sanford Strong. Now, I do want to start over. Teresa, Emily, you guys are lovely, but we haven't heard much from Martina, who played a big role in this as well. Martina, 1-year anniversary, the Sanford Strong page, you guys created it, 12,000 plus members. How does that make you feel?
It's pretty incredible, but I'm not surprised with the community that we have. I think Sanford's unique in the fact that we're all family, and most of us have lived here all of our lives. So given the foundation that we started with, it's not surprising.
And you're on the village council, too, so you've obviously done a lot of work for Sanford in the past year, as well as Teresa and Emily. So do you think Sanford is in a good place a whole year later?
Well, I think it's, like I said, it's incredible what we've been able to accomplish in a short 12 months. I think we have a lot to go, but looking around, I mean, we have many things to be proud of and many things in the works that are really exciting for our community, too.
All right. Now I want to get to Emily and Teresa. I'm going to slide over here. How are you guys feeling? I know it's a little somber today.
I've honestly been a little bit testy all week. It's, the anniversary date, it's sad, but I am looking forward to celebrating with my community this weekend about how far we've come.
Did you want to add?
Yeah, I just think like everybody else in Sanford, it's been hard since the weather got warm. We're used to being able to be outside, be on the lake, enjoying our community, and we're close but not quite there yet. To not see ball start in the spring, just a lot of things that are hitting home, and it's been a few weeks, I think, for most of us.
Now, in case people at home didn't realize, Sanford Strong is actually a 501c3 nonprofit now, which means that you could better serve residents here financially, whatever it may be. And I know I asked you guys this. Martina, if you want to add in, what is next for Sanford Strong? Anyone can take it.
Well, what I've been saying is that, like, right now we're just trying to focus on what we need right now and not looking too far into the future. But we still need a lot of support right now, and that's what we're focusing on.
Do we know what ways you guys still need help?
We always need help financially. I think we've had a lot of people that can offer different services, but as far as financial means, we always need help. The thing that's been exciting is when we started Sanford Strong, it was to cut through the red tape, and then we had to learn how to kind of wait and deal with the red tape to get our 501c3 up and running. There was so much paperwork Teresa had to do, bank accounts to set up, and now we're at a point where we can very soon start dispersing all of the resources that we've been able to accumulate. And so, you know, those resources are always needed. There's many homes that are still not put back together that have lots of help. They've taken their SBA loans, they've taken, you know, their FEMA money, they maybe got a few grants, but they've got a long way to go. And with the increase in prices, mostly with the increase in prices, it's become incredibly expensive for people to be able to rebuild their home, and it's gone far above budget. Even if you had a contractor, they've had to increase your budget, and the needs are just as great as they were, you know, 6 months ago.
Yeah. I'll add to that too. The increase of prices has actually almost completely negated if somebody completely got a full FEMA payout of $35,000. So that's what we're dealing with now that we weren't anticipating a year ago. So those financial resources are incredibly needed.
All right, ladies, I'm a little short on time, so obviously we should do a check-in on Facebook because these ladies are just a major component of Sanford's rebuilding process, and I'm sure a lot of people are grateful for all three of you. So thank you so much for being here early with me this morning, and I know we do have the park right here, which you can still kind of see is in need of rebuilding. The dams over there, they're working on it, and it's going to happen. I'm live in Sanford this morning. Blake Keller, I'll send it back to you.
Thank you, Blake. Can't wait to see what those ladies do next. What a Sanford.
With coverage you can count on, this is WNEMTV5 News.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for watching TV5 News at 9. And this morning, we continue to remember the historic flooding that swept through parts of mid-Michigan, forcing them into a long road of recovery and a path of destruction. I'm Blake Keller, live from Sanford this morning. Thank you so much for joining us.
And I'm Colette Stinger. Blake, we have been live with you all morning long, and it has just been so unbelievable just how far Sanford has come. Can't wait to see what's next for them. Thank you, Blake. We'll check back in with Blake in just a moment. But first, let's check in with Matthew. Oh, my goodness, Matthew Mondro. It's summer out there. What's going on? It's hot. Really hot.
It's already, pretty warm out there. Today, another day in the 80s. And the rest of this work week, we're talking 80s as well. This is above average for this time of year, but we'll take it, Colette. We'll take it. Yes. Nice and warm out there. Even right now, starting off, plenty of 60s on the map. 64 in Midland, 60 in West Branch, 59 in Oscoda. That's just because you're on the lake shore there. We do have 66 in Caro, 68 in Lapeer. And those dew points starting to inch up into the 50s, upper 40s, even low 50s. So still feeling pleasant out there. But as those dew points continue to inch up further this afternoon, we'll start to feel that humidity just a little more. As for the wind, still a calm morning out there as well. Even our strongest winds only getting up to around 5 to 6 miles per hour at the most. And we're dry out there on the First Warn 5 Sky Tracker. That shower activity really has stayed off to our north and our west. We just have the cloud coverage to deal with this morning. Now later on this afternoon, showers will start to pop up between lunch and dinner. More just scattered showers and some isolated thunderstorms in there. But we'll talk more about that in the full forecast coming up in just a little bit, Colette.
It's unbreakable. There's nothing that can keep any of us down.
Well, that spirit of resilience radiating from Sanford today, marking the 1-year anniversary when the Edenville and Sanford dams failed, just devastating the area. TV5's Blake Keller is live at the Sanford Dam right now with a look at how far this resilient community has come. Good morning, Blake.
Hey, Colette. Yeah, so we've seen a lot of strides being made here in the Sanford community, especially over the past year. Lots have been cleaned up, a lot of debris. I would say that this part of the lake behind me looked totally different a whole year ago. Of course, we all know that. So lots have been done here in Sanford. I will say there's a new Porty Park. Of course, that was a lot where a lot of families were housed, and now it's going to be a new park after the village's president. I also want to say the businesses in Sanford coming back stronger than ever. Red Oak Restaurant completely full of water from top to bottom, completely renovated and built a new building from top to bottom. So they're open now. The Sanford hardware store has made a comeback. So they are definitely making progress here. Now I want to follow up again on that new Porty Park. It's a nice wide open green space. It will act as a place to go for picnics or concerts and any other fun outdoor activities. And for Dolores Porty, the village's president, who it was named after, it came as a complete surprise to her, and it's a humbling honor. You?
Well, I feel honored, actually. I didn't have any idea that that was in the works, and I'm very honored that people would think to do that.
Now, it's been a tough day and even month for a lot of residents affected by the floods, and so they are saying check in on your neighbors, make sure that they are doing okay still today and the rest of this month. They still have a long road ahead of them, but a lot of progress. It's great to see here in person. I'm live in Sanford. I'll send it back to you.
Thank you, Blake. So much progress. Definitely Sanford strong. Listen to this. The flood washed away decades of memories, some handed down by generations. After 55 years, one woman had to say goodbye to her family's signature red cabin. The damage was just too much to repair, but she didn't have to shoulder the weight of starting over all alone.
This is more than I would have ever expected anyone to do for me.
Well, a deep sense of gratitude for Penny Tyler, who got a new home after losing hers to the flood. Now in July, we showed you the demolition of Tyler's log cabin and reported about a community effort that quickly organized to build another home to call her own.
I've been watching this house go up, and all I could think is it's going to be just so cozy. I just can't wait to go in there and just be able to sit down and relax for a minute.
Well, this was a culmination of those efforts. When she got to step inside for the first time, she found words hard to come by.
It's so overwhelming. I mean, I'm so happy I waited for this day, and it's amazing.
Well, Penny, you said it perfectly. She says that she is looking forward to returning to a normal life. Neighbor, loving and helping neighbor. That's what community is all about. Gotta love that. Well, so this happening today, the Tawas City area veterans are giving away free food. It's located at the American Legion Post. That's at the corner of Lincoln and Grant. It runs from 9 a.m. until noon, or until all the food is gone. Well, we will be live across mid-Michigan all day today, looking at just how far our communities have come since that 500-year flood devastated the area. Stick with us. Plus, social media bringing the village of Sanford together in its time of need. What's next for this groundbreaking group? We'll have that coming up.
Welcome back, everybody. So I'm here in Sanford this morning, where one of the biggest resources for a lot of residents in need wasn't even tangible. It was virtual and easily accessible, and we're talking about the Sanford Strong Facebook page, which now boasts over 12,000 members.
Wow. Now, that page was created after the village of Sanford was crushed by floodwaters. The two women behind it are born and raised in Sanford. The page just grew and grew fast and acted as the village's saving grace. Take a look.
If you're not from Sanford, you wouldn't know it now, but a year ago, before the floods, this lot of land was home to a quaint neighborhood full of families.
That, for me, this park is always going to be something that's a huge reminder of the families that used to make this their home.
Soon, it'll be home to Porty Park, aptly named after the village's president, Dolores Porty. We thought it was a symbolic location of perseverance. That's where I met up with Teresa Quintana and Emily Rickards, the two women behind the Sanford Strong Facebook page. Now, seeing Sanford today, is that the same Sanford a year ago?
I mean, it's not even close to what it used to be, and there's some good parts to that and there's some bad parts to that. It doesn't look beautiful right now. It looks beautiful to me because I know what it looked like before. Yeah. Really proud of how far we've come, but we're not out of the woods yet.
But I would say today we are absolutely closer as a community than we have ever been. And that is kind of the only silver lining, is really the blessing that we've been able to find in all of the destruction.
If you go to Sanford, there's a good chance you'll see or hear the phrase Sanford Strong. Just take a look around. It's hard not to miss the words plastered on shirts, cars, businesses, and signs like this statue that was built for Sanford last year. Quintana and Rickard say the phrase truly is a rallying cheer.
One of the things that I love is that whenever I drive around, I see the signs and I see the bumper stickers. It's really awesome to see all that.
Yeah, I think for the rallying cry, when I named the Facebook group, that's really what I was looking for. I thought, what is a way to encourage people in Sanford to come together? We are an incredibly gritty town that can really make it through a lot.
The group is a common place for resources, professional and mental health help, sometimes money and furniture for flood survivors in need. So it's no surprise the group is widely considered a saving grace.
It grew really quickly because it became a platform where people could go to find information. You know, and then there's sort of people who step up into leadership roles.
And I'm going to be full on honest. We also used it as a tool to sort of demand the help that we needed here. I don't know where we would have been. I think we would still be deep in the mud, deep into August.
Throughout the last year, they've been collecting funds at the Midland Community Area Foundation. The money mostly used to buy building materials, but they can never grant money to individuals in need. So to better serve residents and get the money directly to those people, Sanford Strong was approved as a 501c3 nonprofit. So what is next for Sanford Strong?
I really don't know. We still have a long way to go, and I'm not stopping.
No.
But I'm really just thinking about what we need right now, and I'm not thinking really about, my future or whatever.
This really isn't about us. It's about how we can help the community find the resources and the people that we really need to make sure our town is as strong as it can be, and that people are served in the best way they can be served, and that people remain happy and comfortable and safe here in Sanford.
Now, the Facebook group clearly has changed a lot of lives. I do want to mention, we did show you 2 members of the Sanford Strong Facebook page. There is a third one involved in that process. You will meet her coming up later on, but I do want to say there's still a push for more volunteers to come back to Sanford. They still have to sift through a lot of debris in order to make the rest of Sanford look as clean and pristine as some of the lots that they've already cleaned up. So lots to do.
Oh, thank you, Blake, for that. Sanford Strong, what an amazing team, so inspirational. Well, here's your opportunity to volunteer. There's a community cleanup day on Thursday, May 20th from 8:30 until 12:30, or from 12:45 to 3:45. Just email megan.clark@dow.com. And the United Way of Midland County continues to organize volunteer efforts. If you'd like to help with projects like painting or moving furniture, you'll find a link to current opportunities in the hot link section of WNEM.com. Still ahead, it is National Trauma Awareness Month. In today's Medical Moments, we're going to talk about prevention and where to go for help. Plus, would you work from home forever? Well, we're going to tell you how people are answering that question. But first, another episode of People airs tonight right here on TV5. It's owned by this station's parent company, the Meredith Corporation. Take a look. Wow, it has been a long year of just hard work for communities like Sanford as they rebuild in the wake of the flooding. But those efforts are starting to pay off, and now they are starting to celebrate the comeback. TV5's Blake Keller once again joins us live this morning with all the details. Good morning, Blake.
Hey, Colette, good morning to you. Yeah, we are here just feet away from the Sanford Dam, of course, which gave way a year ago, and it affected about 10,000 people, their lives all changing in an instant. Now, before we get to the celebratory events and statuses, and I know that's exciting, I just wanted to kind of paint you a picture. A whole year ago, I remember setting up at Meridian Junior High School, which is about 5 miles up the street, with our photographer, Dale. It was an emergency evacuation site, and only a few people took advantage of staying inside. Mind you, we were in the beginning stages of the pandemic. So not only were these people balancing a pandemic, they were balancing their lives being taken from them. So they've definitely gone through the heartbreak, and they've put in the grit and hard work in order to celebrate. So I do want to bring up those events because they start today. Tonight at 5, a unity walk from the Sanford Dam to the Veterans Memorial, followed by Veterans and First Responders Monument dedication. We just have a helicopter flying over us, so if you hear that, that's what it is. Of course, other events this week. On Thursday, so important, the Pulling Our Weight volunteer cleanup, and last I heard they are still in need of volunteers. There's parades, car shows, a dam bash with a DJ. That is on Friday. They also have a 5K, hot air balloons. The pop-up Sanford bake sale is coming, and you also get a look at the new Jerome Township fire station. That is also on Sunday. And Colette, I know many people are so prepared, ready to move forward and put on their party shoes and dress and clothes and just really celebrate the hard work they've put in over the last year. They deserve it, honestly. I'm live in Sanford. I'm Blake Keller. I'll send it back to you.
It is so great they get to start celebrating again. Thank you, Blake, for that. And it's amazing to see the spirit of that community and neighbors helping neighbors, Matthew.
Oh, absolutely. It's crazy, and like Blake said too, with the pandemic that was ongoing at the time,
so much coming at them.
Yes, but it's truly wonderful to see how far they have come in this past year.
Light at the end of the tunnel, like there is light in the sky today. Not that much sunshine, though.
Maybe not that much sunshine, but definitely warm. Yes, heat, feeling like summer out there today, and that'll be the case.